So this is a section that has the old logo on it, but I'm going to keep them on there. And just take the magnifying glass and I can click and it'll zoom into this logo. So when you take a look, I'm going to use the pen tool because it has a nice sweeping arc to this. I take the pen tool. It has a fill of white and a stroke of black and allows me to bring this across. And so I'm just going to click once with that point there. If I hit Command plus now, it'll zoom in right to that corner. This green is a little bit hard to see, so I'm going to double click on the layer and change that color to a darker value. So now I can see this a little better. So when you do a curve, you just want it to have the least amount of points. So I'm going to click over to this side and drag the handle, and you'll see that I can match that curve right there. Now this has a fill of white, so I'm going to come down here while it's still attached and just hit the red box with the line there. I'm going to hit Command minus. There's the zoom in of the point. And here I can zoom in here to get this piece. I'm going to look at this next curve, but you notice it rubber bands this part. So all you have to do is to click on it, let go of the mouse, and it sets a corner point all this way down here. So now I'm just going to click in the midsection of this curve and drag that handle, and you can see that piece. Now when I come here, it's almost connected, but I'm going to click and drag anyhow just to give me a better curve. You notice this rubber band is still curving, so I want to click on it to set it as a corner point. And same with the letter C. I'm going to go find about the middle distance up here and just click and drag slightly to that edge. Click into the next one. So I'm trying to use the least amount of points to build this part up. And now I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see it. Come to the outer point and just click to make that curve. And again, set the corner point to here. If I zoom in, you can see that now I just have the same edge on the other piece. Just click and drag the point, and again I'm going to set it as a corner point just by clicking onto that edge piece right there. So now I have this entire inside of the C. I'm going to click up here, click and drag, and if I hold the shift key down, it'll keep it perpendicular on the handles on either side. And I can see if I can probably make it all the way to the end with one section. And you'll see, you're trying to minimize the points. If you don't like it, hit Command Z, and it'll retrace that piece. Again, I'm going to click on this as a corner point. Zoom in just so you can see it better and work on it a little bit easier. If I have the arrow keys on the keyboard, I can move it over while it's still connected. If I disconnect it at all, I can always just start from scratch there. So down here is where it's a disconnect. So all I have to do is click on the top point and select it, and it allows me to make that point. Again, set this as a corner point just by clicking once, and it'll set me across. So now I'm just going to make this curve. This one I'm curving right here, and I'm going to go all the way to the end and do Command minus just to make it smaller, and mix that point right there. So hopefully you can see it. I hear a lot of clicking, so I hope you guys are paying attention. I see you guys somewhat looking. So here's this entire piece. I'm going to go to the midpoint, drag that handle up, and close it right there. So now, once I go to the end, it'll close it up. There it is as a stroke. If I hide the graphic beneath it, you can see there it is right there. I can swap it with the color. I can just hit black to white. I can go up to the fill color. I can give it a color. I can zoom back out again and take a look at the next part, which is this border. There's many ways that you can do this. I'm going to do it. Just take the pen tool for one and just click, hold the shift key down so it's perpendicular there. And again, you see the blue. When you highlight this, it's going to make that section. If I want to keep a color into that, I'm going to click on it and just go to a orange, for example. And I can right click on this, or just go to Object, Arrange, and send this to the back. And now you have that color. Another way to do this box is to take the rectangle tool, just click down in the bottom left and drag this up till it matches the bottom right, and the height of this section, and that gives me a rectangular shape. And a little bit further, there's a couple different tools in here. When you click the mouse, you'll see them. There's that reflect tool that we used before. That's one option. The other one is to take the shear tool. So when you click on a couple of these, you'll have to click in order to see the tool. There it is right there. And it'll let me, if I click, it'll set the point of origin, and then I can just drag it across. The shift key keeps it in proportion, and that gives me the shear tool. So a number of ways that you can do this, just trying to show you a couple. Arrange, send it back, and that gives me this piece. And if this color, I can double click on the color and make it a little bit lighter. And that's just by selecting it, double clicking the fill, and make it a little bit lighter. Then all I need to do is to hide the background 2 layers. I can hit the tab key to hide everything, and now I can do the command shift 4, let go, it turns into a crosshair, and now I can compose the part that I want to take with this for this logo. And that makes a shot that's located on your desktop. So when you click on your Finder, you'll click on Desktop, and depending up on the column here, you have the date added, and that's going to give you the exact logo that you have right there. So you can click once on it'll highlight the title, so you can retitle the logo before you turn it in. And there you go for that part.